Hi, hey, hello. I just want to share a couple of my favorite things from this year because I love these kinds of videos. I am gonna start off with fashion because I feel like that's pretty ubiquitous, pretty universal. Everyone wears clothes, and I can't talk about my favorite fashion items without talking about this sweater. Who is texting me? Not relevant. This sweater, this green sweater, which I have worn in like every one of my videos at this point, is undoubtedly, undisputedly, my most worn item of 2023. Like, when I tell you that this was my most worn item of 2023, I need you to understand that I am not just talking about like, oh, you know, I like wore it every single week while it was in season. No. I mean, like, I wore this sweater most days, like more than half of the 365 days of this year. It's just like that everything sweater. Like, I can dress this up, I can dress this down, I can wear it in any kind of weather. It's like a very nice material, it's a color that's very flattering on me. I just love it, and I am the kind of person where when I find something that I love, I will ride it till the wheels fall off. And in terms of cost per wear, this is like free at this point. Like, it's amazing. I love it. The next clothing favorite on my list is also a sweater. It is this humongous and wonderful knitted landscape sweater. I got this secondhand, and it is a Samantha Taylor sweater, and it is just, I mean, I think it kind of speaks for itself. It is like the coolest thing ever. And it's also one of those sweaters where I feel like I can like dress it up just a little bit. Not as well as this one because it's like really oversized on me. It's also, because it is a wool blend, it's super warm, like so warm. I wear this like as outerwear. Like, I can't wear this in the spring or the fall. This is a winter sweater, which is actually really nice because I recently moved to a place that is super fucking cold all of the time, and I've been getting a lot of use out of this. Next is this super wonderful poofy skirt. I broke a rule when I bought this skirt. I this year went on a 6-month no-buy for my clothing, which I like mentioned once in a decluttering video that I was going to go on a 6-month no-buy and then like made no other content about it. I did succeed in that no-buy except for this, which I saw on Depop and I was like, I need that skirt, because I had been hunting for a like white poofy tiered skirt that I could like wear with a bunch of different outfits for like what felt like forever, because I'm so picky with my clothing, and I just saw this and knew that it was absolutely perfect. And in my defense, I was correct. I love this thing. I've been getting lots of wear out of it. I don't regret making an exception for it, but what I ended up doing in order to kind of like circumvent my no-buy rules was I ended up getting rid of a dress that was also white, was also kind of floofy, occupied a vaguely similar niche, but I felt like I would get more wear out of this, and I was correct. That dress was super beautiful, but it just like was more costumey. There wasn't any way to wear it in a casual or even like necessarily formal context. It was just a costume piece. So I got this and traded out that other pretty white dress, and I don't regret it at all. This is super nice. All around, just an awesome piece of clothing that I am very happy I made an exception for. Next up is this super humongous winter coat, which I just got lip gloss on. Awesome. This is the most recent purchase out of all of this clothing. I got it like 3 weeks ago because I come from a climate where I don't need a winter coat. I just wear 2 sweaters and I'm fine. Maybe a hat if it's really chilly out, but like this kind of like full-length puffer situation is really unnecessary. But I recently moved to New York to go to school here, and you need a winter coat in the winter in New York. So I bought this. It is vintage. The brand is BB Bros, which I will say, this obviously, like this specific coat, got it secondhand, so like I can't give you this specific coat as a link, but if you go on like Depop or eBay or any sort of secondhand site and you type in BB Bros or even just like 70s full-length puffer coat, you will come up with like literally dozens of these things. I have no idea why they're so common, why so many of them have survived this long, but it's really nice. It's super warm. I love the silhouette. I love the color. I'm very happy with it. It's so like empowering too, to be able to go outside when it's cold out and still be warm. I know that this sounds ridiculous, but like as somebody who's never had a winter coat before, I've kind of just always accepted that like if it's cold outside, I'm cold, you know? But this, like, I can go outside when it is snowing and I'm still toasty. It's incredible. This has changed the way that I perceive weather. 10 out of 10. This has changed my life. Ooh. Another kind of cold weather clothing item is this scarf. I wove this myself. And I love it, mostly because I wove it myself. I don't have very many winter clothing, and so this doesn't have very much competition, but it's just one of those things where like it goes with everything and it's just like a little bit interesting while still being basic, you know? Like it's a plain kind of white cream scarf, but because it's hand woven, A, it's got an interesting story behind it, and B, it's just kind of got this like waffle texture to it that like gives it some sort of irregularity, you know? It's like pretty clearly handmade and I enjoy that sort of look. Oh my gosh, I forgot my like sweatpants that I wear all the freaking time. Where are those? I can't believe I almost forgot these. These weren't on the list, but this is also something that I bought this year at the end of my no-buy, and they are just these very wide leg sweatpants, and they're like fleecy on the inside, which makes them super comfortable and super warm, especially if you wear like leg warmers with them. They're just another one of those things where like I think that it's like not too shabby while also being exclusively soft fabric and elastic waistband. 10 out of 10. Obviously, I'm like trying to limit this to the stuff that I like got this year to try and keep it like updated and relevant, but I didn't buy very much clothing this year because I went on that no-buy. So that is what I have for this year, but all of it I'm very, very happy with. I have been really careful with the clothing that I have bought, and I'm very pleased with all of the purchases that I have made this year. Okay, moving on to beauty favorites. I am not a makeup or skincare expert, but I do have a couple of empties and a couple of things that I really, really loved. Starting off with like skincare-y things, this Glow Recipe Avocado Ceramide Recovery Serum, you might be able to tell, is almost completely gone. And that is a great tragedy because this is something that I tried as a like treating myself sort of situation, because guys, this thing is $45 for this bottle. $45! That's freaking ridiculous. But I do have fairly red skin. It's very dry, it gets irritated very easily, and I was like, you know what? This looks so nice. This is gonna make my skin feel so good. It's gonna like cut down on that redness. I'm just gonna like treat myself. And I love it so much. And so now I'm condemned to buy $45 serums for the rest of my life because it worked so well. Like it legitimately really significantly reduced the redness, especially like and my nose and my cheeks is where I get it the worst, and like this helps so much. And it's so expensive, but it is really nice and I'm happy to have discovered it at the least. I also am a super big fan of this Glossier Future Dew. I originally got this in a little like free sample that came with something else that I bought, and I put it on my face because, you know, free sample, why the hell not? And I hated it. I was like, it's so sticky and like tacky and I just look wet and oily. What is this? Flop. I didn't like bother to wash it off because I'm lazy. And I went about my day and I checked my face in the mirror after like 45 minutes or an hour, and y'all, I was glowing. My skin looked incredible. So I bought it because while I still am not the biggest fan of how it feels going on, like it is kind of tacky, like oil serum hybrid is an accurate way of describing this. Like it feels kind of oily, but once it like dries down, and I have incredibly dry skin, so like it just absorbs that shit, it looks amazing. It like gives you this like lit from within sort of glow. It's beautiful, and the packaging is really cute too, which doesn't hurt. And something that is actually hair care is this rosemary hair oil from Alpha Botanicals. I got this because I am susceptible to influencer marketing, and I saw that everybody was saying that rosemary hair oil like makes your hair grow in super thick, and I don't have a ton of like irrational paranoias, but I am constantly convinced that my hair is falling out, which, to be honest, I've thought that my hair was thinning for like 3 years now. I don't think that my hair is actually thinning. Like if it has been thinning for this entire time, I would be bald by now, so like it's not a problem. Like my hair isn't actually thinning. And to that tune, I honestly don't think that this has made my hair grow in any thicker. Admittedly, I haven't been super consistent with it, and it hasn't been a super long time. So like, don't take my opinion with any sort of significance or meaning at all. But what I have discovered in this product is that a well-formulated hair oil is really like nice for my hair. Who would have thought? I have pretty dry hair, and obviously it's like really, really long, and that means that it gets like really dry and really tangled and really frizzy, and just like a couple of drops of this will like calm that down a little bit. So I'm definitely very much a fan of this and very interested to try different kinds of hair oils to see what that does for me. As far as makeup goes, like real actual makeup stuff, this has been a huge MVP this year. This is the NARS, it's a sample size, can I read it? It is the Afterglow Lip Balm in the shade Laguna, and it's a tiny little travel size. I got it as like a free gift from Sephora, and like this little amount on the top here is all that is left. I have used it up in its entirety. I just really like it. It's like a legitimately very like nourishing and hydrating formula. It like feels like a good lip balm on my lips. It's a very flattering and like, it's noticeable but still understated on my lips, which I really love. I reached for this like every day this past summer, and I definitely am planning on getting the full-sized version when this like tiny little sliver at the top does well and truly kick the bucket. So that's totally a win. Keeping with lip products for a moment, this is the Merit Signature Lip in the shade Aperitif. And this is a totally unexpected win. I have admired Merit from afar for quite a while, but this year they gifted me a couple of their products, and this was one of them. And I chose their limited edition summer shade, which is this like insanely beautiful, very like bright, neutral, true red. And it is so incredibly beautiful. When I first got this and did the full review for it, I mentioned that I kind of regretted choosing this shade because I'm not a makeup person, right? And I tend to not wear really like, I don't know, like bright, super makeup-y looks. And this red, I mean, it's a red lipstick, you know? Like it's pretty clearly out of my comfort zone, but I chose it because in my mind, A, I kind of just like wanted the limited edition shade, but B, I also just figured that like if I was going to get a nice lipstick, I might as well get it in like a really fancy shade that I would wear for special occasions, because I kind of like couldn't conceive of myself wearing a pigmented real big girl lipstick in like any sort of everyday context. And what I learned upon receiving this product is that it's super comfortable to wear, and I absolutely could have and maybe should have gotten it in a shade that I would have worn more often. But after getting a little bit more familiar with this product and getting a little bit more comfortable with this kind of red, I don't regret choosing this color anymore. It is super beautiful. So definitely 10 out of 10. Once again, thank you so much, Merit, for gifting me this product. I also obviously can't talk about Merit without mentioning that they also gave me this beautiful, beautiful, beautiful bronzer. It's like just a little cream stick. It has got just a very nice formula. It's a very nice color on me, and I like wore it a lot during the summer. Have been doing it less so now that it's winter time, but super pretty product. Felt like I should mention it. And then last up is my most recent makeup purchase. Ooh, there you are. Such a fucking dork. I got very recently, just during the most recent Sephora holiday sale, this Charlotte Tilbury little like peachy nudie eyeshadow palette, because prior to this purchase I actually only had 2 eyeshadow palettes. I had a Pat McGrath and like a Morphe, and I really only used the Pat McGrath, and it was full of like, it was really beautiful eyeshadow, but it was full of these like grungy, cool like browns and blues, and I was kind of craving something a little bit more light, a little bit more pinky. I'm wearing it right now and I think that it is super pretty. I will say that in the like product photos of this, they didn't show really a picture of it in anybody's hand, and I didn't quite realize that it was a mini palette, which it is. It's tiny. Like on sale, it was a good deal, and I have been wearing it like every day since I got it. Super fun. I like it a lot. And that's all for makeup. Again, I'm not an expert. Take my opinions with a grain of salt, but that's what I ended up really liking this year. So as far as tech favorites go, I really only have 3 because I'm not in the habit of like, I don't know, purchasing technology. I don't know. My ultimate creme de la creme mega favorite of the year, kind of anything, is the sponsor of today's video, Skillshare. Skillshare is an online learning community with thousands of classes on an amazing variety of topics. There's creative skills like illustration, film and video, and creative writing. There's business skills like marketing, freelance, and entrepreneurship, as well as just like general lifestyle and productivity classes. They reached out to me this fall, and I have legit been binging classes ever since. They're just incredibly engaging, and more importantly, they like speak directly to the specific kinds of things that I want to learn, which isn't always true of my academic classes here at school. I've been especially enjoying Ali Abdal's Productivity for Creators class, which has given me some really valuable insight into my struggles with time management, trying to balance being a full-time student with being consistent on this channel. I'm still working on getting there, but I've already seen a shift just implementing those skills and techniques, and I'm really hopeful that it will continue to improve my ability to get things done. I've also been using Amy Plant's Plant Magic classes to supplement a natural dye studio class that I'm taking this semester. You'll see what I made from that during the hobby segment of this video. I am very proud of it. In general, I've been super pleased with all of the classes that I've taken with them and just really happy and proud to be a member. If you're interested in joining, click the first link in my description, where the first 500 people to click will get a 30-day free trial of a Skillshare membership. Thank you again to Skillshare for sponsoring this video. I've already spoken extensively about this vacuum in like literally my last video. So I don't want to bore you by rehashing the vacuum facts, but I love this vacuum. I have only ever had really like heavy corded intense heavy duty vacuums that like my mom got for her wedding registry 20 years ago and then never replaced. And so this is a massive step up from that kind of thing. I'm not a vacuum expert, and so I can't tell you whether or not this vacuum is like the best vacuum, but it is the vacuum that has stolen my heart, and I am very happy to own it. There is just something about living with a cat and having long hair that makes owning one of these really nice. This, I was going to like do a dramatic like, wow, look, it's you, it's the camera, but actually this mirror is so disgustingly smudged that I'm not even gonna do that. We're just gonna cut to B-roll. I bought a camera, a like real big girl camera with lenses, still attached it to this shitty $8 tripod. Let's hope that doesn't fall down. But I am so happy with it. I mean, like, hopefully you can tell that the video quality is significantly better than my iPhone XR, which I was recording with previously. This is like a 4 or 5-year-old phone at this point, and the camera just like was not great. Mostly it was really struggling in like low light scenarios, which, because I live in a dorm room with like one window, all situations are low light, and I was kind of getting tired of that like really grainy fuzzy effect. And I also just like wanted more flexibility when it came to like interesting artistic shots. But obviously it's super new to me. I am not great at using it yet, compared to just the like point and shoot and like zoom in on my iPhone. But I'm hopeful that this will like unlock new possibilities when it comes to the way that I shoot my videos. Obviously, this is a kind of boring introduction to it because I'm just sitting here staring at you. Hopefully the B-roll will be cool and interesting. I don't know. But yeah, I'm really happy with it. I think it was totally worth the money, and I am excited to kind of like see it reach its full potential, but we shall see, we shall see. Moving on from tech, I also feel like I kind of like just have to share with you a couple of like my favorite like hobby and art supplies because, you know, I'm an artist and that's something that I do on my channel fairly frequently. And I definitely have some favorites from this year. Starting off with this little book, which, guys, this is a book full of swatches, all of which are colored using natural dye, like dye that I made from plants and animals and like minerals. This semester I had the opportunity to take a class on natural dyes, and that is where this booklet came from, and that has just been like the best freaking experience. I'm so happy about it, and even more than that, I kind of just like cherish this like precious little book. Like, it's so cute, and I am really glad to own this just like as an object. To have it in my space and to be able to reference this is really, really cool. And that I have definitely enjoyed working with and making over the past semester. And I mean, like, look at this rainbow. Look at this rainbow. Oh my god. Something that I have kind of like discovered this year is colored pencils. I have never really been a big drawing person. I've always painted. I've always preferred painting as a medium for 2D. And it was only this past year that I was gifted this set of Prismacolor colored pencils and really got into it. I did a challenge where I filled a sketchbook by drawing in it every single day. I just had a great time. I did really enjoy working with them as like a way to like kind of quickly get ideas onto paper using color, because painting takes forever, especially the kind of like super detailed gouache painting that I tend to do, and so I can't always just go straight in with a gouache painting, you know, but I can almost always go straight in with a colored pencil drawing, and that has been a lot of fun, and I'm really glad that I kind of like discovered that aspect to my art this year. And one other thing that I discovered this year is the wonderful art of weaving. This was also a gift. I was given it last Christmas and I really adore it. It was a wonderful gift, and I haven't made like a ton of stuff on this because weaving is kind of time intensive and this thing is huge. So like it just takes a ton of space on my desk, and like once you have something that's like active on it, it's kind of hard to put away. So I haven't gotten it out a ton this year, but I have been really enthralled just by like the art of weaving, and I've made some fairly cool stuff this past year. That scarf from the clothing section I made on this loom, and I just feel very lucky to like own this art tool is how it feels to me. It's just such a cool thing to have in my toolbox. And the final thing that I think I'm gonna like just blitz through real quick at the end here is I have a couple of like home decor faves. At the top of the list is I got these frames for my little postcards and I freaking love them. I want to get frames for like all of my postcards now and just like make that the gallery wall because there's just something about it. Adult is the word that I'm looking for. It looks mature compared to just like a bunch of postcards on the wall, which, you know, I still have time for a bunch of postcards on the wall, but I would love to make just like a full gallery wall just of these like little frames because I think that they're so cute. I also purchased a new lamp this year, which I can't show you because it is currently part of my sort of demented lighting setup, but I do really like that. It's a super nice lamp, got it from IKEA, 10 out of 10. Another thing that I got from IKEA is this huge water jug. If you are in a dorm room, I cannot recommend this thing enough. I guess most people get like a Brita filter or something, but like this is even bigger than that, and it like has this like nice convenient spigot, which because I have like 0 upper body strength actually like is really nice because it doesn't require me to pick anything heavy up. And last but certainly not least, I honestly kind of was unsure whether or not to include these, but I really love them, so I felt like I should mention that I have pretty significantly added to my rock and mineral collection this past year. Sometimes I'm like, it's not a crystal collection, it's a rock and mineral collection, which is a stupid distinction to make. They're crystals. They're crystals. I have a cabinet of crystals and I love them, okay? I love them so much. I just really like the way that they look. I love picking them up and I love looking at them and I love holding them and I love buying and collecting them. It brings me a lot of joy. And so despite the fact that I am firmly anti-knick-knack, not like morally, just like practically, I don't like having a lot of stuff in my room, I make an exception for these crystals because they make me so happy and they don't feel like junk or clutter to me. They feel deliberate. The camera is about to die, so I'm gonna go ahead and wrap up here. I really enjoyed making this. It was just a really wonderful opportunity to like reflect and think about and appreciate all of the things that I've really cherished this year and everything that's really brought me joy, which it's just a nice thing to do. I encourage you to do it. So I would love to hear from you. What is beautiful in your life? What is bringing you joy? What are your favorite things from this year? And I'm especially curious to hear, do we have any overlap or do you disagree with me on any of these things? I'll keep an eye out down below. But anyways, thank you so much for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed and I will see you again next time.